Hi guys! Alright, so we are working on your door commotion. That's the focus for today. This is such a common issue with most households, so we are taking this session to really break everything down. So the first thing you need to know about entering a home, whether it's you or a guest, is that there's a ton of components to it. I think you probably know that one of the simplest, most identifying trigger for them is probably the sound of knocking or the doorbell, which means we're not going to start at the finish line. We've dabbled just a little bit with sound, but we find that just working on the presence or different things one by one makes it a lot easier. So we're going to continue to talk about what's happening as we're doing it, but if we knock, it'll be once. If we step in, it'll be very still. You know, we're not going to do too much at once, otherwise they're not going to know how to succeed. What we are looking for is for them to stop barking without us interfering. So there may be a moment where we just let them keep on. Neither one of us are going to move, and we're going to see, are they going to offer something better, which is silence. And all we're doing with that silence is clicking and giving them a treat. So really breaking down this whole situation and giving them the opportunity to make the correct choices so that going forward, you won't feel like you're hustling near your door or constantly trying to hush them. We're just trying to teach them to make better decisions on their own. Another thing we could be doing right now is leave it, but we're actually not focusing on leave it right now because we would much prefer not to have to depend on leave it as so much as them just knowing how to work with the door. So I'm going to go ahead. I will be the one coming in and out, and Taylor will be policing them, but just mostly she's not really doing anything. She's just waiting for the moments that they're quiet, calm, clicking if they remain silent when a trigger is present, or if they start barking, clicking when we trust that they understand we're marking them for the silence, not the noise. And this will make much more sense once we get into the thick of it. So let's go ahead and get going. Somebody standing here is a trigger for them, which is justifiable. Somebody just standing at the door is kind of weird, but it's also not a good reason to just keep barking for no reason. So this is something you can work on. Can they just handle being over there while someone's standing right here where they do absolutely nothing?
Katya.
Another trigger point for them is when someone actually moves into the space. Now you'll notice that I'm actually flapping my feet, like stomping a little bit hard. It's that noise of stepping that really adds to it. Yes, movement is a component, but we do find that if there was something a little bit more that's going to set them off, it is noise. So I'm going to stomp just a little bit, but not over the top. And Taylor immediately marked the moment that they looked at me. She clicked immediately. You know, we're really looking for them to make the right choices when they make them. Not wait for them to make the wrong choice. But if they do make the wrong choice, then just waiting on them to get quiet. I'm going to step forward again. Timing is key with this. Right there, I stepped pretty heavy, and I also moved a lot faster. So the speed, you know, how quickly someone moves into the home is also a component. So we're just making sure that we dissect every element of someone coming into the home. Very good. I'm getting pretty good at this. So I'm going to mess with the door some. That one was pretty effortless, which is pretty good, doing really good. Now it is effortless because Taylor is there to reinforce them, but that being said, she still is not indicating to them by any means what to do. We're just looking to catch good behavior. Alright, just got a little distracted. Katya just ran away.
You are upstairs.
Yeah.
We're doing your video right now, okay? So,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't want to like interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do one knock. Just one. See how that. Now when I do one knock, I am not going to stack the other triggers. I just want to see how they be able to handle this. So immediately Taylor clicked, you know, not giving the opportunity to make the wrong choice again. We want to mark quiet moments, not necessarily loud ones. Setting them up for success, always a good choice.
Katya's actually trying to ignore. She's not looking at your way. She's like, I'm staring at you, which is great to see. This game is called Engage, Disengage. When they engage on the trigger, I click immediately, give them a treat. Just now, so you do that game so long, they engage, click, get a treat. Engage, click, get a treat. Eventually what starts happening is that the trigger, they engage, but then disengage from it, which is the complete thing. Yes, disengage from the trigger. Look away. Look away from the trigger. Offer, leave it. Katya is starting to ignore what Gio is doing, which is actually what we really want. But I'm still going to focus on the engage portion because this is their very first session. I want you to acknowledge that trigger, and I want you to know that you're going to get a treat for acknowledging it calmly. And I hope that makes sense. We're going to send you an actual digital handout that explains this game and how you can play. It is a little confusing when you have two dogs here, and there's an element of Katya and Roux not knowing how to take treats that well. They typically rush and they kind of snapping in the air. I'm okay with it kind of right now, but in the future I'm going to go ham on making sure that they take treats a little bit calmly because I need to be able to give one individual dog a treat. Anyway, we'll continue. Good. They're starting to disengage really fast, so
I'm going to do 2 light knocks since that seems like they're doing pretty well with that. And you can see exactly why we do this in like such small increments because I just knocked twice and we got a little bit of a boof.
And now they rush to me. So they're coming a yo-yo effect. Okay, hurry up, give me a treat. Now Katya is kind of resorting back to her default behavior, which is barking. A little frustrated right now because I didn't acknowledge it. So when they start barking like this, now they're barking at me, kind of. So I'm just gonna sit. Sorry, he's swiping at you. There you go. Sorry about that, guys.
So what we're looking for is a nice, calm, quiet moment to appropriately click. If we click too soon, it won't be good enough. So we want to make sure that when we do click and when they are rewarded, we're convinced. Like just now, they disengage, they're quiet. Okay, now you'll get a treat. So teaching them that barking really just makes the treat delivery happen so much slower. I'm going to go back to 1 knock since the 2 set them off. I'm going to increase the intensity of this one. It's going to be a little bit louder.
That was on me. That was on me. It flew.
And going back to 2 light knocks.
2 light knocks, it sounds more like how people knock. That's why it's so hard for them. And the engage is a little different. When you have a sound, they can hear that sound. So I don't care if they look at it really per se. I was looking at that earlier, but I'm going to go back to, you're going to get a treat when you hear that sound without barking.
Now I'm going to do 1 knock and step in.
Excellent, good.
So we just paired 2 triggers together, and that was really difficult. As you can see, a little bit of excitement was added, and I did get eye contact from Katya where she was kind of making a choice there. But as you can see, we really break everything down, and we're going to continue to expand on this. Really breaking this down when you don't need it is what's going to save you. You know, if you continue to rush when people are coming over, whether it's just you or if you do have a guest, this is never going to fix itself. However, doing sessions like this, you know, brief moments where you're like, I'm going to practice coming in and you guys are going to practice shutting up. And that's how you're going to start fixing this problem. But they did awesome. It's a fantastic video progress report. Very, very happy with their progress. And if you have any questions, let us know. See ya.